Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you, I was not a wireless charger guy
Me neither.
for a long time. At Backside Attack,
Advic Sabe.
I was like one of those dudes like, you don't need wireless charging. And I think it's because I was in that rebellious phase of where I thought to myself,
I just thought it was an extra charge that you didn't need. Like an extra like purchase that you didn't need.
yeah, right? That was a big part of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is the same thing. Like, I mean, I can just plug my phone in for the fast charging.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go.
Yeah, because usually I barely use it. Like my watch I use it for, but like my phone, I just plug it in. Like I watch my phone at night before I go to bed, which is not a healthy thing to do. But
Okay, why is like physically it's not a healthy thing to do,
Well, it's not
or
good for your-
mentally it's not good for you to plug it in and have that thing
No, it's not good for your eyes.
to look at your phone?
Like especially like late at night when you're going to
Oh, I
bed.
thought you said you charge your phone late at night.
Oh yeah, like I always plug it in, but I'm always using it. So like
Yeah.
I don't want to like reach over and put it on my wireless charger. This is such first world bullshit.
First world bullshit.
Yeah, but like but I just plug it in. I just look at it, and then when I'm done with it, I just throw it away, and I'm like I just fall asleep. And then when I wake up, it's like somewhere underneath my quilt.
That's not terrible. I was in the same boat. I was in that I was always the guy who tells people, hey, look, the blue light's bad for your eyes. It's gonna fuck up the way you think. It's gonna screw your circadian rhythm before bed.
Yeah.
And then I look at my phone before bed.
Yeah.
You know, I was the guy who's like warning about the evils of alcohol, but secretly an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But then, not to interrupt you, but then I decided to change up all my habits. This has been going on for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I do is I'll do some writing for this. I'll prep the show every night. Every night I'll go through all the notes that I've made for the week. All the things that I want to do. I'll do any kind of like paper art. I'll draw on paper. Then I'll train and take a shower and go to bed. And then it's been an hour and a half before I've looked at my phone. Since I've looked at my phone.
That's a very good routine.
Right? And then that's it.
Yeah.
So I've moved things back to where now it's like there are things that I have to do that take up. And I read a lot more books now, like physical books. So that way I'm not staring at a phone and messing up my brains. I'll tell you, it made a huge difference, at least like psychosomatically.
Yeah.
That first week.
There's I know that's good that you change. I think everyone at a certain point needs to change up the routine, whether
Yeah.
it's like they do it like within like the first 3 months, or do it like do it quarterly, or do it half. Just like quarterly. Yeah.
You're a businessman.
You know, I just think that you should like you
should,
like,
though.
every once in a while you should look at your routine. I'm like, and then you know, especially if you're feeling like kind of like I don't feel like you don't have time for anything, or
even a little burnt out.
you're burnt out, you're lazy, or you're feeling like you can actually like self like assess
Evaluate.
yourself and like just be like, you know what, I know I'm getting lazy.
Yeah.
And so like, why is that? So I think it's important to like you just did, like it's important that you just, you know, like, okay, what can I switch up? What can I afford to like spend less time on and focus more time on this?
Well, we talk about that a lot. That's one of the staples of what we try to like drive home to people that we know too, right?
I hate repeating myself, but it's like
But it makes a big difference.
I just recently had to do it too. Same thing as well. Like I just had to focus more on just on like reading more and just less on like I deleted Trailer Park Boys, the app of the game.
Oh man,
that was a big one,
dude. Pound that shit.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Oh, holy mackerel! You were kind of hooked on that.
I just I shouldn't say deleted it.
Oh, you didn't
I just stopped playing it.
Just stopped all the cold turkey.
Yeah.
So it's like you're keeping the rattlesnake in the room
Yeah,
and daring to bite you.
I'm continuously accumulating wealth in the game, but I don't check
I don't
it.
care. I can just not do it. I can have the vodka in the house.
Yeah.
And not drink it.
Yeah, because I just want to, like, when it gets to like the X or the Z, like I want to know what they call the money, that it's gonna be fuckatullion or something like that, or whatever Ricky wants to call that.
Whatever the amount gets to.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's actually there's the only book I'm reading right now. It's not even a book. It's more of a guide. Is it's called The Complete Guide to Running.
Oh yeah, well that's relevant to you right now, right?
Yeah, because I want to really get back into running this year. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's that is one of those things that I always tell myself I'm going to start doing again. I actually was just reading an article about how even runners hate running. Even people who run all the time hate running. And I gotta say, like, I don't know if it's just the way my brain works or if I can just zone out and tune out. There are a lot of things like flights. Like if you go on a huge flight, how people talk about how, like, I fucking hate flying, man. I don't like going from here to California, here to wherever, Hawaii. Whereas I just tune out and just do it. Like my brain goes somewhere else. I'm the same way with running. If I'm on the track or on the treadmill and I'm just going, my body's doing it and I can kind of like adjust and move my speed around a bit, but I just zone out.
Yeah.
And I find I can pull that off.
Yeah, but I think that's the correct way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something I have to do.
I think so, because you're just like, it's a means to an end, right? But then like I think that's the baseline where, like, you know, that's where you should like either start with it or that's the way you should approach it. How you then when you go up from like to enjoying it, that's a different case altogether. That's where it becomes part of your daily routine, right? So
enjoying it is like the end game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I think especially when I got into really hardcore running when I was living in Vancouver, the day's not complete until you finish a run.
Now now the day's not complete until I finish a run, but were you dreading the run?
I was not dreading the run. It was more like in the sense of like my day, like when the next day I'll feel like, okay, I didn't get a run in. I feel like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So that's the mentality was, okay, if you don't fit in a run, you're going to feel like garbage.
Yeah.
Same thing with the guys who power lift or like do exercise.
Everything.
Yeah, if they miss a meal, they'll be
good
like,
old handsome Dan and Greg the Ghost.
Yeah, there you go. So like if they miss a meal or something like that, right? They'll be like, oh shit, I didn't fit in my adequate amount of protein intake per day, right?
Such a data way of thinking about it.
But yeah,
but it's the truth, right?
It's the truth, yeah.
But those are the things that you think about. Like, I didn't do the things that I should be focused on doing because I have a goal, which is either better health or a better lift.
Yeah.
And all it is just laziness, and which is going to be detrimental to my
and I don't want to say lazy for people who don't do it, but because I still do that, but everyone has their lazy days. I understand that, right? But they should be few and far between, I guess. So that's why I said, you know what, no more. Like I missed Orange Theory on Tuesday and I felt like shit. Yeah. And I still went. So I like, fuck it, just go to the gym then.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys too that like in my head I've always got that 20 minutes that I can do something. Like in 20 minutes I can hammer out either like 100 lunges or I can just do like all the push-ups I can get in 20 minutes. Yeah. Just keep doing it. If I don't get to the gym, I've still got to do those things that are going to be like overall beneficial, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and there's like there's studies too that show how certain things that you do will lead to, the studies prove that if you can do say 40 push-ups or 100 push-ups, that those are like markers for having good heart health. So those things stick in my head too. Yeah. It's like, do you want to have a heart attack? No. So get your push-ups in, right? These are things you better be able to do. So yeah, I mean, I think those are to counteract the lazy days. You should at least have something in your head that can make up. That's not just, a short jaunt around the block. Like you're actually getting some good 20 minutes of breathing hard and getting it out. Then wipe your face and get the business, right? Yeah, that's something I should subscribe to a little bit more. Like I want to do that. I still have to do my I'll still have to do my allotment of push-ups per day. You're not doing them yet, are you? No. I'm not. Again, have you seen my chest? My chest looks like a female supermodel. That's all right. Concave. I'm not gonna judge. Yeah. But that's good. Yeah, you could drink cereal off like on my chest. You could drink cereal off your banana titties. Yeah, they're horrible. Like, you're like 70s boob. Yeah, you're like 70s French girl boob. I know, it's weird because like I have like my arms are pretty much they're taking care of themselves. You're a pretty thick kid, but overall. Like, yeah, but I just don't. My legs and everything are like just because of biking and stuff like that. But like my chest is like. Just not coming together. You know what the thing is? I think because like, a lot of people say like diamond push-ups, bro. Yeah. Because like a lot of people say like traditional East Indian guys when they go to the gym, all they do is work on their chest. Really? Yeah, but I honestly didn't know. I think that's I'm not sure if it's a myth, but like a lot of Indian guys will focus on their chest first, right? Yeah. I think that shows I'm the complete opposite. I don't have any chest whatsoever. We were like years ago, we got obsessed with like the push pull and the EPS tests. Yeah. Because I knew a couple guys who were getting into like corrections and EPS, and the whole idea was there was this like little like obstacle course, for lack of a better term, that you got to do. Yeah. And a big part of that is a push pull. So in my head, I was always like, you got to be able to pull, you got to be able to push. Do them push ups and pull like rows. Like those are the two big ones you've got to keep doing, and they will lead to better health. Yeah. And then even years before that, we had a guy come into our school. And I believe I talked to Sandy about this one time. Like the last time we talked, we were talking about push-ups. Yeah. And we had this one like gym teacher come in, and he talked to us about how I remember this. Yeah. I'll be strong, man. You got to do push-ups. Got to get those push-ups in. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because like it's. Karate Kid and those guys do push-ups. Yep. Like everybody does push-ups. There's somebody in my head who's like, everybody does push-ups. I was like, you better get on that. We were probably about like 12, 11, maybe 13, 14 at the time, right? So ever since then, it's just been in my head. And that the push-pull thing happened. That got into my head too. So it's always been a part of just good health. Yeah. You've got to be able to do those things. That's one guy who I see, like if you want to see how pushed, like I've known for like, who the benefits of push-ups is Sandy. Yeah, he was saying how that was something that stuck to him too. Yeah, and you've got to be able to do them. Yeah, his like if you look at even like if you look at his chest, it's like that's that kid's straight shredded, bro. Yeah, it's from years and years of push-ups. He doesn't like if you glance at him, friend of the show Sandy, does not seem like a jack dude. But I mean, he's got the pillars, the foundations of good health in his head, and he makes sure that he keeps up on it.
Yeah, he's like Sandy is the first to admit that he doesn't. He like he wants to like the intention is there. Like he wants to work out. Like I know that for sure.
Time can be a bitch.
Yeah. So but he has like he has his own life to live, and
he's a real adult with like a real family.
Yeah, and so I just but the intent is there.
Yeah,
I know he wants to, and once he gets going on that, yeah, there's no stopping him. He'd be shredded. He could run half marathon, no problem, which he did. So the only thing that's getting in the way is just is life.
Yeah, I mean, life gets in the way. Life finds a way to get in the way.
Yeah,
is what it does. Mm-hmm. As the great Jeff Goldblum put up.
Yeah,
in that movie.
Oh yeah,
about finding a way.
They're actually making the new one.
A new Jurassic Park
is being filmed on Vancouver Island.
Really? Oh God!
Just found that out yesterday.
I gotta tell you, I didn't hate the last two. I know everybody hated them a lot, but I mean, whatever, man. Movies for 13-year-old boys.
That's what they were. I think the magic has gone out of Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park has left the island. Yeah, and with that, there is a lack of like a magic.
There is, yeah, because it's like when I watch that, like when I watch Jurassic Park now, like those new movies, I've never seen them. Yeah. I've just seen like snippets of them, but what I see is like really bad CGI and practicing in front of a green screen.
That is the thing that bums me out. Like,
yeah, and there's no mystery to it. Like when you watch the first Jurassic Park, you're just like, wow, that was crazy.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
No, you're spot on. They're the mystery and the magic is out because, like, number one, like you said, the green screen is a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I still do appreciate how all the heads are real though. Like the dinosaur heads, but then there's a dude in a green screen suit, like, snapping that thing.
It's also like what I saw. Like there was one scene where like these kids were running away from this one dinosaur that was chasing them, and they had to jump off that cliff and into that water.
Yeah.
Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, that scene is horrible.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, first of all, if there's like a 20-foot dinosaur that's going to eat you and you're running away from it, there's no panic in them. They're just like, they show up, there's none. They're just like, look at each other like, so whatever his name is, like, so what should we do? You think we should jump? Like, I don't know, what should you do? I'd be like,
let's call him Tyler.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Tyler. And so I'm watching that scene, I'm like, okay, that was not happening in real life.
No, man, they'd be freaking out.
Yeah, they'd be scared. They'd be screaming. They'd be like, their eyes would be tearing, and they'd be like, there'd be no second guessing. I'd just jump off. Like, what do you want to jump off and break your leg by hitting a rock or getting eaten alive?
Yeah, by getting eaten alive by the biggest predator on the face of the earth.
Yeah, give me a fucking break.
Give me a fucking break, CGI kid. I think to myself with those movies sometimes, like what you're saying, when they're not freaked out. Mm-hmm. If you took that actor and just unleashed a rabid pit bull.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've all seen how fast those things move. Mm-hmm. Pit bulls move lightning fast.
Yeah.
You're not gonna outrun it, right?
Yeah, they're tanks.
They're tanks, man. Yeah. And if that kid is running, like you just see one of those like YouTube videos of people running from pit bulls.
Did you see the way he ran? It was more. It was like a slight jog.
Their clothes are flying off.
Yeah.
Like if they're running in real life, their clothes are flying off. Like you said, that kid is just like jaunting.
Yeah.
To try to get away.
Yeah.
It's like, no, make it more realistic.
Yeah.
Like the Phoebe run.
Exactly. It doesn't look like there's anything behind them.
No, man.
I don't know.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So
it's a huge bummer.
Yeah. So like too many moments like that in a movie can like just take me right out of the movie.
Well, that's like there are things that will get rid of the way you perceive fantasy, right?
Yeah,
there are things that go on there. Like when you watch Spider-Man, you've got to let go of the idea that he's like got the webby, wristy bullshit.
Yeah,
you just get sucked into the idea that he's swinging around. It makes it all kind of fun and whatnot.
Yeah, but you can. There's a suspension of disbelief there.
There is, but in that scene, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you've got like one of the, what do they call it? Like the guys in the street, like a street sales, newspaper salesman, and Spider-Man flies by him, and that newspaper salesman's like, "There goes Spider-Man."
Yeah,
you're like, whatever. Right? I mean, this is stupid. But if he is looking at what you're looking at, he's like, "Holy shit, it's Spider-Man! Go, Spidey, go!" Yeah, you're like, you get sucked into the moment.
You do, but also to that point is like if that guy says, "Oh, there goes Spider-Man," it's like that. It just shows that how much Spider-Man is ensconced in the daily lives.
But I want to see that in like Spider-Man 3.
Exactly.
I don't want that in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man 1,
exactly,
they gotta be like super into it.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Holy shit, there's a guy like."
Did you fucking see that?
Yeah, pajamas, like especially in the '60s cartoon.
In the old like with the whole suits on colored.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that couple's like, goes, I saw him again.
I saw Spider-Man.
Shut up, Harry.
Harry, you didn't see nothing, Harry.
Nothing, okay? Well, I told my mother told me not to marry you.
Oh, those are so good. Oh, that cartoon was so good. There's something to be said about like great background characters like that. right now on the Witcher. I know I'm going back to The Witcher again, but I've been playing that a lot, right?
No, go ahead.
Man, there are background characters in that just say the weirdest, most fun shit.
Just the gabbiest people I ever met.
They're gabby, man. And I don't know if you've played it at all, but there are some characters like that you'll be fighting, and one dude will run up and he'll scream, "I live, I die, I live again!" Like all the Mad Max shit. Yeah. Like what? Out of nowhere, right? They're all like, there's so many characters in that just reciting weird movie quotes, and they're all on point. Like, the voice actors are not phoning it in. Like, they're screaming at you.
Screaming it, yeah.
And it's like, I love that in a show. I love weird background shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's why I'm just... I don't even know what it's going to be like for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, man.
Fuck, man.
I kind of hope... Like, I don't know. I have read nothing about it. I don't know anything about that game aside from the premise. Yep. Is that, like, you know, you're kind of like bounty huntering in the future.
Yeah. You're
like these cybernetic humans, enhanced humans. Feels very Deus Ex, but it would be cool... And I don't know if they're going to do it like that. They very likely are not doing this. All speculation. But it'd be cool if you had the whole map that you've got in The Witcher. And you just make that the future.
It would be nice, but Cyberpunk is going to be 4 times bigger than The Witcher.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's going to be huge. That'd be nice, though, yeah.
Now, this is where that thought comes from, right? Now, The Witcher, and this is all like... just like random thoughts in my head. So the reason I was thinking it's 4 times bigger is because if you look at The Witcher as a game, it's basically 2-dimensional. You're on the ground... You're going from like north, south, east, west on a horse, on your foot, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're very rarely.
It is very
breaking
2D.
A plane of height, right? Yeah. Whereas Cyberpunk is going to have a city.
Yeah, you can go into buildings, go up.
Into buildings, go up.
Yeah.
Which then increases the size of the world. Because like The Witcher's already pretty huge. And then games like GTA 5, all these games are pretty big.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of access for the buildings either, right? Whereas it feels like Cyberpunk's going to have a lot of access within buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
which would be incredible.
Yeah, and also like there's vehicles, motorcycles and cars and stuff. It's going to be like that's kind of the reason I want to get it, because it's there's so much of a big world to explore, because a lot of games when you play them you're like, hey, this is quick and whatever, right? I'll be like, you know what, that was a waste of time, whatever, right?
Well, Deus Ex, right? Great game. Way too short, way too constrained.
Friend of the show designed the cover for it.
Friend of the show designed the cover for it.
Yeah.
Which friend of the show?
Your friend.
Yeah, I know, but do you remember
his name?
Good old fashioned Jacques Jouet.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. And so yeah, but with for Cyberpunk, it's not only that how big it is, but it's just the style of the game, which is something that I think a lot of people are gonna like just stick to, because of whether or not they like The Witcher or whether they like CD Projekt Red's game, it is right there with like Blade Runner.
I mean, it is aping Blade Runner a lot.
Exactly.
And like Jacques mentioned too, like when he actually saw Blade Runner for the first time.
Oh my god!
After having worked on, because he'd only worked on Deus Ex, and not seen Blade Runner. One of the few people, who had not seen Blade Runner.
Weird for a guy who's in IT and like a game designer, like
in our age group,
who has not seen Blade Runner.
And then he saw Blade Runner, and then the first words out of his mouth are like, "Do people know we ripped this movie off?" The first thing he thought is like, "We have ripped this movie off."
Yeah, the weird thing is that he just like not even like heard of it.
No, he'd heard of it. He'd heard of it because I wouldn't shut up about it.
But he didn't know like what the influence of it was.
Exactly.
That's
I mean, he knew it was androids. He knew it was future. He knew it was Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I believe from when we were younger, he knew like the intro scene when he's eating the noodles.
Yeah.
Because that scene's kind of iconic, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, he really didn't understand the premise of it. He didn't know that there was this whole like android hunt going on and like enhanced humans and the Voight-Kampff.
Yeah, exactly. Everything about that movie. I just watched it again a little while ago, and even like Edward James Olmos's character,
he's awesome.
He like his language is like it's street language.
It's street language.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's all influenced by the world they're in now, which is I think if nobody really understands, that was a big part of Firefly too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That you've got multiple languages, but you get the two biggest ones are going to be English and Chinese, and everybody will speak an amalgam of that.
Amalgam of that. Yeah,
with like slang from other languages mixed in, and that's what Blade Runner felt like.
Yeah, exactly.
And Edward James Olmos is like a perfect version of that concept, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That guy's one of the best 80s actors.
He's one of the best 80s actors, and he can do anything. Yeah. I mean, he goes from playing the weird, like, Tyrell, like, security agent PI guy, and then he plays fucking the chief in Miami Vice. Totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Believable as both.
Wasn't he on Stargate as well?
Yeah, it's not Stargate.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
Which they're kind of restarting.
Yeah.
They're going to restart Battlestar Galactica. Same world. same everything, but it's just going to carry on in a different way.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I don't know if it's going to be like the Galactica or like with the crew that we know. I don't think it's going to be the crew that we know. I think it's going to be another crew, and they're going to know of, kind of like Next Generation.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The Battlestar Galactica to Next Generation.
Next Generation. Actually, did you see Robert Pattinson's suit?
The bat suit?
The bat suit?
Looks awesome.
I think it looks awesome.
I think it looks awesome. I think the music is incredible.
Yep.
I really enjoy. I hope that music is the music because it sounds like it feels very noir, and this looks and feels very noir.
I think his suit it reminds you of that Arkham Knight kind of thing where it's just like it's
bit
pieces.
of a collar.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the symbol, the bat symbol, is made out of the gun of the parents who killed him.
Yeah, it looks
That's
rad.
nuts.
That was one of the comics had that where I think it was like one of the New 52 stuff, maybe Earth 2, where he makes the bat symbol out of the gun, which is pretty rad. Because this really feels like they're kind of taking from some current era stuff. Like I think it's going to be, I have a feeling the way it looks, the way they're casting it is going to be very long Halloweenish.
Yeah.
Like kind of told through the lens of Brian Azzarello's like look and feel. Who was the artist who did all that? It was Eduardo Rizzo?
Yeah, that's right.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I feel like
I just read Long Halloween 3 weeks ago.
Well, that was Tim Sale. Tim Sale was Long Halloween.
Yeah, that was Long Halloween. Yeah.
Brian Azzarello, his run like with the Joker and what was that Dark something. The Batman issues that he did, they're kind of painted up. I feel like I'm getting that wrong. I don't think it was Rizzo. It was somebody because it's kind of painted, right? I think it was somebody else. But we'll look that up another time. If you know what it is, look that up. Brian Azzarello did Joker.
Yeah.
And he did a bunch of comics around that time with Batman. And I think in one of those he
also did 100 Bullets, right?
Yeah, he did 100 Bullets.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Croatoa.
Yeah. Fuck, man. They should make that into like a Netflix series.
That needs to. I think they tried. They tried to pull that together.
They tried to earlier, but
it's an HBO thing.
Yeah, it fell through. But like, someone's got to pick up that series.
100 Bullets is incredible.
That is like imagine like every single episode is a different one where like everyone's like they focus on a different character for revenge.
I mean, really, that's that premise you could do 10 years of
easily,
and always have a different. I mean, you could have that underlying thread of the. What are they called? The Minutemen.
Minutemen, yeah.
And basically every like 3 or 4 episodes could be just a different character sucked in.
Yeah. If you haven't read 100 Bullets, I'd highly recommend it. It's so awesome.
I would read it and read it again, man.
Yeah.
Man, who's the character? The pretty boy?
Oh,
at the end here with the matches. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody who hasn't listened to or watched it.
I can't remember.
But man, him, Lano, man, so many great like iconic tough guy noir characters in that. Graves, God, 100 Bullets is so good.
Yeah, I finally read Silver Surfer Black.
Oh, and
yeah, it's unreal.
Man, you had to take a second.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Process it.
Yeah, and guess is that Christian Bale will play Beta Ray Bill.
No, I hope not.
Okay,
Galactus.
Or Galactus. That's what. But Rami Malek they're saying is going to be Silver Surfer.
I'll tell you what I think about Rami Malek. I think Rami Malek needs to be put in a box and shuffled under somebody's bed, forgotten about for the end of time.
I'm
sick of Rami Malek. I'm sick of Rami Malek because he's so one note. He doesn't say. I mean, okay, your Freddie Mercury is pretty good, but Rami Malek has played Rami Malek since Rami Malek was Rami Malek.
Yeah,
he's the same guy every time. Yeah, I'm done.
That's fair.
I'm done with that. I'm done with his bug eyes. I'm done with his weird face. He's got the weirdest head. I'm finished Rami Malek.
That's fine.
I'm that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to Forrest Gump this thing. Where that's all I got to say about that.
That's pretty hard. That's pretty harsh. That's pretty ugly.
His hands.
I'm sorry to take you to that place.
That's all right. That's all right. Every now and then you got to go somewhere.
Hey man.
How was your week?
Good. Just worked out and did some reading.
Some light reading.
Yeah. I just got just do more research on how to get stronger in running. So
stronger in the run.
Yeah.
I finally buckled down probably about right after we did our last episode, like 10-ish days ago.
Yeah.
Well, because we had one in the middle of that. We had the one that's coming up next, which is Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Where we talk about Ghostbusters while watching Ghostbusters, and people who are listening can listen along with us.
Yep.
But I finally buckled it down and decided to cut out all the shit that I was eating. 100%. Only whole foods. So no more bread. Bread's gone. A lot of potatoes, a lot of taro, shit ton of yams. A lot more meat. I finally like tied down how I'm gonna ingest my meat. I'm trying to cut down the pork a little bit, but I mean I'm a big chicken guy anyway. But a little bit of pork, a little bit of chicken, beef when I go out, when I can get my hands on really nice cuts of beef.
Yeah.
No real burgers. And like no more processed items entirely. Like if it's been processed at all, it's gone. And it's still like a really well-rounded diet. I mean, I'm still getting, I'm not doing the whole crazy thing where I'm doing like the carnivore or like keto or anything like that. But just a lot of good proteins and a lot of good like whole vegetables, a lot more potatoes for carbohydrates. Man, I feel a lot better already.
No, that's good.
It's been just over a week now, but I'm feeling really like clean. And it was like, it wasn't as if I was having a hard time with working out or anything, but just in general, I just felt really sluggish for some reason. A little bit of joint pain was going on, and I was kind of like starting to chalk it up to like, well, you know, you're getting a little bit older. Maybe you got to change the way you do things. I was like, no, man, I think the diet was really like detrimental to the way I was working out. And with all
everything.
that gone, what you are, what you eat, right?
Yeah.
With a lot of that stuff gone, I just really feel like my system's running cleaner already. Now that could be in my head, but if it is, fine, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But that, and then I always drank a lot of water, but man, I'm drinking a ton more water now.
Yeah, that's one thing. I just have a full 1 liter. I have the stainless steel Adidas bottle, and I just pretty much the size of that thing.
Yeah, that guy. You've got one of those, pretty much, but Adidas.
Yeah, I fill this up and I just leave it like full. And then at nighttime, I always wake up and I wake up, I take a sip of this, go back to bed, and then by the time. And then whatever's left in there, I eat that with my breakfast.
You eat that water?
I eat that water with my breakfast. Yeah,
that's how you eat water.
Yeah,
with breakfast.
You have to chew on it.
Chew it hard.
Yeah, get all the nutrients out of it.
Well, somebody's slipping cornstarch into it while you're napping. Actually, no, but it's true. I mean, like I don't drink water in the morning.
Yeah, because I don't drink water as it is. I always put a hydrator in there, and I put like liquid chlorophyll.
Yeah, just to get some.
And then that makes me like I can shoot the water down. Yeah.
Really? It tastes a little bit better.
Oh, it tastes great.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the water I take to the gym and when I go running or when I go biking and when I go to Orange Theory. I make that water and it just dehydrates you like crazy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were saying before too, like you got to have a little bit of a hydrator in there, especially if you're going to be doing a big workout where you're burning all your salt and your water out.
Yeah, like I wouldn't recommend one for
not for sipping on the way to work.
Yeah, for any cardiovascular activity you're going to be doing. Like I don't use it for when I'm on the exercise cycle. But when I'm on the floor, I need to take sips every now and then. Yeah. And biking, I take like I'll take this thing with me. I'll put it in my backpack and I'll put one on my bike with a water bottle. And I'll just when I'm biking for like I don't know 50, 40 kilometers, whatever it is. And then I'll by the time I come back, it's empty.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm just done.
You really. I mean, that should be a part of your mindset, right? Like that's something that you've always done really well. Like you've maintained the fact that like in your head. If I can get those words out, that water is important, and you got to keep drinking water. Yeah,
it's like I like water because 2 things. Number one, it is refreshing when you drink it, and number 2 is that that's what you should be drinking with each meal.
Oh yeah,
and also
not a soda pop.
No, that's like
stop drinking soda pop.
Oh, that's archaic. Like everyone should know that by now.
Any of it, man. I mean, even the diet stuff. If you're drinking diet soda, even worse. You're just drinking soda, but lying to yourself about soda.
Yeah,
drink water, man.
Yeah.
Get used to it.
It has its place.
No, it doesn't. It totally doesn't. I'm gonna stop you right there on a belief that I've got. It does not. You're lying to yourself. Not you. The people who drink it. You're lying to yourself.
Oh yeah. Okay. If you're drinking on a regular basis, that's terrible, right?
Or with a meal, you don't need that shit.
You don't need it at all. But like, I find that with in this summer when you're having pizza or barbecue and you're just like, what do you want to drink?
Do you really want one?
I want one. I want a Coke.
Yeah,
in an ice glass, like with ice, like that for me, like just
as a fun time. Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have jumped.
That's the only time I drink
to
it.
Just like shutting down your theory, because I'm going to agree with you. I will take everything I just said back. Your theory is accurate.
No, you're right.
It does have a place. Yeah, but it doesn't have a place if you're drinking it.
It doesn't have a place in your everyday life. No,
it doesn't have a place in your everyday life. I firmly believe it doesn't have a place just going out with your friends either. No. But you're right. There are systems in your head that say
there are better things to drink.
Yeah. There are better things to drink, but there are like we are programmed to be like summertime, hot dog, barbecue, soda pop.
That's and you don't do that often, right? So if you're gonna have it when it's like you're gonna enjoy it the most.
Oh yeah, when it's memorable.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be the kind of thing where you're just like, what am I gonna drink? Open the fridge, cook a doop a doo. No, man, that should be a water.
Yeah,
that should be a water. You want some flavoring in your water? Mm-hmm. Get some lemon juice, or some even better, put some lime in there.
Yeah,
electrolytes.
Yeah,
boost yourself up.
I know it's
flush your adrenals.
Yeah, I don't find that's the only time I find Coke like tasty.
Is in the summertime.
In the summertime, like if I'm like I can't have it with like a meal, or if I'm having like even if I have a pizza like at home or something like that. Let's say I get something from like Blaze or something, right?
Yeah.
I can't have Coke with
fancy
it.
pizza.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have Coke with fancy pizza.
No.
No, I mean you can't have a wine in that fancy pizza.
Actually, no. That pizza when I make it, I make myself like a decaf coffee with like really nice
Really, with that pizza,
with a latte or something.
coffee and pizza, you madman.
Yeah, I have a vanilla latte coffee with my pizza.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could have hot chocolate.
Or hot chocolate, yeah.
if you're gonna go deep, have a hot chocolate in your pizza.
Yeah, do one or the other. But I use non-dairy because but it's yeah, why not?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say that I'm kind of dreading about doing this thing where I'm not eating the breads and stuff.
Yeah.
I love pizza.
Oh, who doesn't, man?
It's
the greatest
right?
food in the world.
It is. I really firmly believe it. I believe it. Pizza is the best food in the planet.
You can do anything with it. You can have a cheeseburger pizza if you want to.
You really could.
Yeah, like literally made out of cheeseburgers if you want to.
Oh God, I am gonna try doing that thing where you hammer out some thin pork and just make your pizza on top of that.
Just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah. I'm gonna hammer some pork.
Some people in some restaurants they do that because they do it to tenderize it, right?
Yep.
But like some people do that to the wrong meat.
Yeah, you can't really do it to all meat.
No,
you gotta have like pork or beef, or you can do it to certain chicken, like chicken breasts,
certain cuts too.
Certain cuts,
yeah,
because you're gonna make like a cutlet or something.
Yeah,
but like you can't. There's a point with chicken when chicken's no longer gonna be viable.
Yeah, I just love watching on like Kitchen Nightmares when some guy serves Gordon a fillet.
Yeah,
and the guy tenderized it, but he beat the shit out of it.
Chicken fillet.
And then so like he took like he took a.
What does it look like?
He took a filet mignon, like a fillet.
Oh no!
And he beat the shit out of it. He flattened it basically.
That's way too soft.
And then Gordon's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "This is the filet mignon." And he's like, "What the fuck did he do to it?"
Oh no!
And he's like, he tenderized it. He goes,
why?
He goes, "You don't need to." He's like, as soon as like he goes, his routine where he shits on all the food, then he goes in the back and yells at everybody.
What is this?
Yeah, he's
you
like,
maniac.
Yeah, he's like, he goes, "You fucking killed this meat." He's like, "You beat." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "This is terrible." Like he felt like his heart was broken. It's like one of his children died.
I don't blame him, man. Look, Gordon Ramsay takes a lot of shit, and rightfully so a lot of times. But there are some people out there who just like they're just idiots, and they're doing things like there's that one. I was watching that one. What's that show? The big dude who does the bar rescue, right? Bar rescue. John Taffer.
John Taffer, yeah.
And he brings those guys in to do because I loved bar rescue because working in bars for as long as I did, there are people out there who are just idiots, right? Yeah. So I watch that, I'm like, oh, he's gonna yell at people. So there's one dude who's making burgers, and he's just squeezing the burger on the grill. All the juice is pouring out, and his chef
all the goodness is running out of it.
All the goodness.
Yeah.
You're right. All the goodness is just oozing out.
Yeah.
And the chef is getting so mad. He walks up, he's like, "You don't fucking touch the burger."
Yeah.
If I see you do it, I swear to God. Like he's getting so upset. And the dude kept doing it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, that's force of habit, right? The
bad habit.
Yeah, bad habit. Yeah. John Taffer, that guy is. I love when he goes crazy, and he's like, it looks like his lips are gonna fall because he has those big lips
that stick out,
and his tongue. He's like, "I'm telling you." He goes, "Look at this, raccoons!"
Raccoons! You've got raccoons in your ceiling. John Taffer is so good.
My brother loves Bar Rescue, or he did anyway when it was relevant.
You know, the thing about Bar Rescue too is it was one of those shows where I don't know how the Kitchen Nightmares people felt or how the restaurant.
It's Kitchen Nightmares is like that set the trend.
It really did.
It did.
But like I don't know how, like, because my kitchen experience was mostly just cooking in a kitchen. I wasn't the kind of guy. I never ran a kitchen. I never did any of the big stuff in there. I just came in and cooked.
Yeah.
So and even then it was really limited. I was the fun time guy.
Yeah.
There are people who probably will protest that, saying I was not the fun time guy, but I was a fun time guy in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. But in the bars, I was involved in a lot of different aspects of the bar. Yeah. So when I see Taffer yell at certain people for doing things, I'm like, he's yelling at the right people for doing the right wrong thing.
Yeah.
For doing the correct wrong act. Like he's justified in what he's getting mad about.
Yeah.
Because these people, some of them make some stupid mistakes, man.
Yeah, I don't understand those shows where like there's people who are reluctant to like change or like take his help. I'm like, you called him.
There've been a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. You called him, exactly.
Yeah.
If I don't get John in here to fix my bar, I can't make my rent this week. I'm going to be out of the house and home. Yeah. It's like, and then you come in there and he tells you to ditch the pirate theme. Like, no, I like pirates.
Yeah.
It's like, go out of your goddamn
you're an adult.
You're an adult. Your bar's on Wall Street and you've got a pirate theme.
Yeah. You're
going broke.
Yeah. Don't you ever watch the older episodes where people like are successful when he changes things?
Right. I don't get it. If you go through Wikipedia and you take a look at like all the, because I like a lot of junk food TV. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of hate and I'll shit on that stuff. There's a lot I really enjoy, and that was one of those ones. So I deep dive into Wikipedia and start reading about the ones that say, oh no, John Taffer's garbage. And those are people who no longer have businesses. Like, no, he came in and did all this stuff, and I didn't like it. It was crap, and he changed my theme, and he married my wife. I'm like,
he did the math, and he's like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do.
He did the math and told you what works where you are, and it didn't work because you're incompetent. Like, you're an incompetent person.
Yeah.
And you're trying to change a narrative to fit what you want people to think.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the guy's done hundreds upon hundreds of bars that have actually worked.
Yeah.
He owns a lot of bars that work, and you just shouldn't be a bar owner. Man. Oh, that's a lot of people, though.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, bar owners. A lot of people out there shouldn't own bars.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who shouldn't own restaurants either. Yeah.
Man, because is it impossible? What's the one? A Restaurant Impossible? The fucking Marine? The
guy?
big Royal Marine?
I can't stand that guy.
Oh, I don't know if he's really... Was he really a Marine?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God, maybe he just shouldn't be a chef.
I don't know. I don't doubt...
He cooked for the Queen.
Yeah, I don't doubt his culinary skills, but I think like in his show, it's like he's just... I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to watch those restaurant shows, I'd rather watch some of that because like I'm not saying Gordon Ramsay's like he's the best, but he's the originator. So like, I would just watch his stuff. But cooking shows in general, especially the Food Network, is becoming borderline unwatchable.
The Food Network is kind of becoming they're going down the same weird trend that History Channel did.
Yeah.
Where at first it was history.
Yeah.
At first it was food, and then it became UFOs. And then it became drive-ins, diners, and dives.
Yeah.
And those were still kind of cool.
Yeah, like drive-ins, diners, and dives. Like, that guy is giving free publicity to like all these people, right? So I admire him for that, right? Yeah. He himself, I find it annoying. I could never like sit down. Guy Fieri.
Oh,
and
he's like a Michael Bay creation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
he's Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
covered in flames. And
he looks like he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
and
he's doing quite well in theaters, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I was happy to see that actually.
Did you watch it?
I didn't see it.
Oh, I thought you enjoyed it when you watched it.
No, it's actually they showed a picture of Jim Carrey and Will Smith together.
I'm okay with that.
Yep, I was like, that's cool.
That was like 90s childhood spooge right there.
Exactly. But yeah, they made the 90s work.
They really did.
Yeah, and but the whole idea of like the Food Network, like, I thought cooking is supposed to be fun. I don't care about these competitions where like like on the Food Network you have to go like, okay, who can like make this, and then like they obviously something has to go wrong, and then like it takes the joy out of cooking. I'm like, I don't want to watch that shit anymore.
Yeah, it's like you take this idea of say like Maddie Matheson, showing you how to make some nice food.
Fun.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
Munchies.
Fun.
Munchies is great.
Munchies, or who's the pothead? The big pothead comes in there and always makes the food, and he smokes some pot, and he gives you the burgers. The big kind of like thick, bald. He's like Maddie Matheson, but not.
Action Bronson,
right? Action Bronson. Man, I would watch that guy for days.
He's on Munchies as well.
He's a Munchies guy too, right? Mm-hmm. Those guys are cool. I don't like you said, I don't like the knockoffs of like 25 people, one kitchen, one mystery dish, one mystery ingredient. Yeah. It's like, and then they give them 15 minutes to make something.
Yeah, even MasterChef America with Gordon Ramsay, like, I hate that show.
Yeah, I can't do that, man.
But I do like the Canadian one and the Australian one because it's just like it shows that they're actually encouraging these people.
They're super tame.
Yeah.
Like compared to the American one.
The
Canadian one, man, they're super chill.
Yeah.
I was watching that because in the morning before work, I watched that Donut Showdown. And they'll get these donut makers in there. It's on their Food Network or Shaw or whatever it is. Yeah. And they'll get these donut makers in there, and then they'll give them 45 minutes to make these donuts.
Yeah.
They'll give them a secret ingredient. Mm-hmm. And they always fuck up the dough. I'm like, you guys are pro donut makers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how are you ruining the one thing you're supposed to be a professional at making?
Yeah, I thought it would be like because like, you know, there's a time constraint, but at the same time it's not. It's like they have to dramatize it a little bit. You have to dramatize anything that's not really exciting.
Exactly.
And to get ratings or to keep yourself on the TV.
Yeah.
So like HGTV is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those like buy it or lease it, like, or list it or whatever, like buy one or rebuild one.
The Bachelorette nose job girl. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you mean.
The show on Vancouver or whatever.
Yeah. Where they go around and like the one dude he's gonna buy the house, and the one girl she's gonna remake the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those shows, like those are first of all, those are all fake.
No, they're completely scripted.
They're
total bullshit.
Yeah, those people have already committed to to doing one thing.
Yeah.
So like,
all the drama they build up where they walk in, the one guy's like, I can't believe you don't want me to make your house look this nice. It's like, well, they've already figured out.
Yeah, exactly. When they open the door, they're coming into the room. There's a camera in that room, like, so they could see that. Like, you're not fooling anybody.
That's the thing that gets me the most is when there's a cameraman in the house.
Yeah,
and then the guy who's going to show you the house comes in. He's like, I haven't seen anything in here. And then they'll walk in the house and he's oohing and eyeing. Then he'll make an assessment like, I bet you there's original hardwood floors under this carpet. It's like, I bet you did a walkthrough and checked, and now you're miraculously going to find original hardwood floors.
Oh, yeah. And the conversations the couples have with each other, no one talks like that in real life.
No.
I don't know. It's just like, I started watching that. Like, I don't want to like harp on it too much because my mom loves that shit.
No, it's fine. Harp on it.
Yeah, but I was like, but I don't do it in front of her. But like, it's you can make real estate interesting unless you're like dealing with like multi-million dollar like condos and like things in New York and stuff like that. Yeah. I can. Then you're like, okay, I want to see this like $25 million condo, right?
Lifestyles, man. Lifestyles rich and famous.
Yeah,
they made cribs. They made houses interesting, but at the same time, like cribs was I really believe a lot of those houses didn't belong to those celebrities.
No, because they rent them usually.
They rent them,
right?
But
I'd like to see like how like people. So they did one for Kenny versus Spenny. And they
cribs?
Yeah, cribs. But you want to see how those guys live, right?
I want to see that weird ass apartment.
Yeah, it's
a little brownstone thingy they had.
Yeah, the house is unreal.
It was a cool little place, man.
Yeah, if I could live in Toronto, I wouldn't want to live in a huge house. If I had any money, I want to live there.
That would be. I wouldn't want to live in that particular one because there's probably a lot of feces and piss on the walls.
Actually, you know what? I would live in that one, but yeah, it would need an excessive cleaning
and a deep clean. You'd need new drywall and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I know this is where Kenny sat. I know this is Kenny's washroom.
Yeah. He pissed on Spenny in that corner.
Yeah.
He jizzed in the wall over there. He hired 15 puppies to walk all around this one carpet.
Yeah.
And crap all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. This is where like he made Spenny lie down naked so those dogs could eat dog food out of his ass.
Oh my God. that show is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey, so you've recently had a little bit of a hunt. Not so much a hunt, but not even a real commitment. But you may or may not in your pocket in the near future have a Galaxy S20 Ultra.
Yeah, that's the I did play with it.
You did?
I went to go get the sweater I'm wearing, and it's right next the store.
You fashionista.
And then so I just went across the aisle, I guess, in West Edmonton Mall, and there was a Samsung store there, right? And they had them all on display. You could play with them and everything.
Get out, huh?
And then so what happened was I picked one up. It felt great. It's so light.
Yeah, they seem like they're not too much different than like the Notes, right? They're about Note size.
Yeah, they're
lighter and thinner.
It's lighter than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Mm-hmm. I think it's like it weighs in at 216 grams. I think that was the number.
That 11 Pro Max is a big phone.
It's a big phone. Yeah,
it's a Western belt buckle.
Yeah, and so I don't. I was like, I picked it up. I'm like, yeah, this is a nice phone. And I'm like, I was like, what the hell are they going to do with the Note 20 Ultra?
That's just it, right? Like they all got so big.
Yeah, like the screen is unbelievable. Like that 120 hertz screen is crazy, but you can't turn that on
to 4K
to when you're in quad HD.
Okay, yeah, so it can only do 1080p.
It can only do it in FHD.
That's all right.
Yeah, so like but yeah, that phone is crazy.
That's pretty rad.
Like it's like the number one thing you want to get about that, you want to the reason why you would want to get that phone, honestly, I think is because of the cameras.
Yeah, what was that? 5 cameras?
Yeah, and it has like that 108 megapixel camera. The main one.
I get issues with that, but
you would know more than I do. But like, but that's not the one that shoots. But they also has like the 64. I think it's a 64 megapixel camera. That's the one that shoots 8K video.
That's the big one. That's the video.
That's the video one, right? So, but all four cameras can shoot. I think the S20 Plus can also shoot 4K, but the S20 Ultra has a 48 megapixel camera, I think, right? But the S20 Plus has the 64.
The 64 in there.
Yeah, so that's where you're taking the hit on the I think it's on the main sensor.
Yeah.
But like but yeah, it's just a beautiful setup.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. I mean, it's a neat looking phone. And I'm not really into big phones, but looking at that one, I'm like, oh, no, it looks pretty attractive. Like that little big square doesn't throw me off as much as I expected it to. It's not an ugly big square hump.
No,
it's actually kind of like techie looking. It looks neat.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking phone.
Because like the last time we had a phone that said our cameras are the best cameras, and we're kind of like somewhat capable, and we're multiple cameras, is that Nokia 9 PureView. But what a weird looking phone.
That's a weird looking phone.
The back looks like an insect head.
Yeah, since then it's been like what is it? Actually, the Note 10
had something as well, right? Like a 50 something.
The Note, actually, they said like overall that was actually this is on MKBHD, that guy.
Yeah.
He said
Marques Brownlee.
Yeah, Marques Brownlee. Yeah, that guy. He said the Samsung phone, the Note, is one of the best ones for 2019 anyway, right?
Really?
And he said the best, and then what was another one? He said the Google one is obviously really good. Overall, I think the Apple one was the best, the one that he picked. But like Google is unreal too.
They're not bad. I mean, like I like the idea of like I think the 9 and the 10, if I'm not wrong. I think actually it's just the 9 had the physical aperture, right? It had the 52 millimeter.
The Note 9?
The Note 9.
You can check on mine.
Yeah, I think the Note 9 and the 9 Plus, they all had the little physical aperture to it. And it was great. It's beautiful. Now, I think the reason they moved away from that is because it's just another part that can break down, right? It increases the thickness of your camera hump.
Yeah.
So it's like a little bit more compromised to have that thing in there and deal with all the size and shit. But then again, you can always like get your 108 megapixels and fake your way through it. Yeah,
like the I guess which is as important as the you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like I guess what's as important as the camera itself is the computational hardware, is computational software that you can
for phones.
For phones, anyway.
For phones, right? Like there's the whole idea of having 108 megapixels isn't that you have 108 megapixels. They're going to be smaller pixels in the same size sensor. But what you're doing is you're essentially, like, let's say you've got a grid, right? Mm-hmm. Your grid is the size of this table, but there's only 10 squares on it.
Yeah.
Well, those 10 squares are kind of like they're held to a certain amount of information they can each take. But if within each square you had 100 squares, then now each megapixel has got these little extra layers of like information can separate, and it can form that computational software. It can basically form a better idea of what you're looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just have more micro sensors within a larger sensor space.
Yeah.
That instead of saying like a 10 megapixel, you've got 10 megapixels, you've got 100 megapixels.
Yeah. And
each megapixel is kind of doing its own work now. Instead of whereas on a traditional sensor, you have bigger pixels which let more light in, because you're actually moving your, like on a DSLR or a mirrorless, where you're like having more light information hit your sensor.
Yeah.
Where it's just a different, because you're working in such a small space, you've got to find something that's going to get you more information. And this computational hardware is going to allow those smaller areas to do better work.
Yeah.
Or give better information to the software, right?
Yeah.
Which in turn will give you better images. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea would never work on like a DSLR or a mirrorless.
Yeah.
Just because it's eventually it probably will. Like they're going to get to that kind of thing sooner or later. You're going to start seeing like 55 or 48 and 64 megapixel like everyday shooters.
As standard shooters, yeah.
As standard shooters. But until now, it would kind of be looked at as a gimmick. Or for now, be looked at as a gimmick.
Yeah, I guess it all has to start somewhere.
It has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And the best place you can do that is on a phone. Now, is it going to have the results? Like, remember when Lumia had that super zoom? They had that, I think the Lumia 10 or something had the Nokia had that zoom where it was like 48 megapixels and it could zoom right into somebody's eyeball halfway across the room. The whole videos of the guy taking photos of his kids in the back. And people are trying to get close to the kids, but he's like, whatever, man, it'll just zoom in, it'll be fine. But like those megapixels sucked and the software sucked. There was no computational software.
Yeah.
There was no AI. So it just didn't quite do what it wanted to do. Whereas now, that will kind of be the result will be what people expected of that Lumia.
Yeah, exactly.
You're finally going to get to that point now.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be the benefit of this particular phone.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Like,
I think it'll work out pretty well.
Yeah. So like obviously if I don't go that way, I might wait for the Duo, or I might wait for the Note 20. So.
Yeah, I mean the Note 20 later this year, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Actually, one thing I wanted to talk about was friend of the show, Sandy, talked about. I said, "Is there anything else you want us to bring up in the podcast?" And he's like, "Yeah,
for sure."
He said, "Okay, what?" And I'll ask you, and you can just through personal experience, you can just give me some examples.
All right.
Can it see either home or in the theaters? Name an experience where you saw a trailer for a movie that was so good, but then we watched the movie, it was horrible.
Oh man, I'm sure there's a ton of them. Oh, I can't really pop one off the top of my head right now. I'd have to sit and think about that. I'm sure there's got to be a dozen of those though. Mr. Church. It's probably comes to mind right off the bat. But Mr. Church showed you the entire movie.
Yeah.
That was the name of it, right? Mr. Church? Eddie Murphy's,
I think so, yeah.
like a last big release.
Yeah.
Where he played the guy Mr. Church who
Metro was another one. Eddie Murphy's movie?
Oh yeah, Metro was another shit one.
Yeah.
Metro wasn't too bad, but they pumped it up like it was gonna be the next Beverly Hills Cop.
That's exactly it.
If they just like toned their shit down, it would have been a passable movie.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 3 is up there too.
Beverly Hills Cop 3 is up there. As far as sequels go, Crow 2.
Crow 2, yeah.
The Crow 2 trailer made it look like this is going to be like really fucking good.
Yeah.
And we were all mad because like the Crow has such a mythology behind it.
Yeah.
And we kind of felt personally connected to it, being martial arts fans and Bruce Lee fans and Brandon Lee fans.
Yeah.
The Crow 2 rolls up and it's actually
comic book fans, yeah.
It's total shit.
Yeah. What's another one?
Well, he must have had something.
Sandy?
Yeah, what was his?
What's that Van Damme movie called?
The Quest.
The Quest. That's what it was. Yeah.
The second you said it, I thought about it too. The Quest. Right. You're absolutely right. I expected it was gonna be like Mortal Kombat, and it was not Mortal Kombat.
I thought Mortal Kombat or a new age Bloodsport.
Yeah, The Quest was awful.
That was a terrible movie.
Well, it's funny that you say New Age Bloodsport because I'm sure Raji's listening, and Raji can talk about this later on as well. But that was a Frank Dukes Van Damme joint project, and Frank Dukes is like the biggest fraud. One of the biggest frauds in martial arts history, right? Like Bloodsport, Frank Dukes lied about his resume.
Yeah.
Got a movie made and tried to make himself seem like a legend, and Frank Dukes is not a legend.
Yeah.
He's such
I don't care what the end credits of Bloodsport says.
Yeah, the fastest kick and fastest knockout.
It's all bullshit.
Fastest roundhouse. Like Bloodsport is a fabulous movie.
Yeah.
Like Van Damme's incredible. Bolo Young is incredible. All the memes, they're great. Have you seen the jump around meme?
Yeah.
Jump around or just jump? No,
Just
jump around.
Jump around, yeah.
The meme for that. Like all of those are great. Like, that's a great movie. But the way it got made and the person it's about is such crap. Don't do a deep dive into Bloodsport.
No.
Enjoy the movie on its own.
Like that's the reason why what's his face? Is that the reason why Van Damme left the shoot for Predator?
Maybe it's Bloodsport? I can't remember. I know Raji would know better about this. It's one of those things where I've got so much of that in my head I can't.
I always thought that maybe because I know because Predator came out. Predator came out in 87.
Yeah,
and Bloodsport came out in 88.
Yeah, I don't. He might have gotten Bloodsport right after that, but he was already doing what was that? The one where he had the cameo, essentially, the martial arts movie.
The Chuck Norris one, or
no, the one where he plays the Russian.
Oh, No Retreat, No.
No Retreat, No Surrender. So I think he'd done that. I think from there he was going to do Predator. Then he thought he was going to be like Tarzan, and they put him in that stupid ant costume. And he wasn't Tarzan.
Yeah, because that dumb costume. But the thing is, he could do all the movements.
Yeah.
But I guess he was just too. Was he too short, or?
Well, I think he wasn't. I think the costume wasn't impressive as they expected.
I remember the original costume was not good.
Yeah, and Van Damme himself thought he was going to be like a Tarzan type thing.
Yeah.
Where there's going to be a little bit of makeup on him. And then when he left is when they go to Stan Winston and redesign the whole thing, right? So I think there's a bunch of stuff. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm sure we've talked about it before as well.
Yeah,
yeah, how about you? What was the movie that you thought was going to be the one? And it's how about Phantom Menace? How about the Phantom Menace?
All those, actually, I think Sandy said the same thing too. He goes, I think all those movies were just total shit. Like,
right? I mean, like we saw the trailer, like when the trailer for the Phantom Menace came out, I remember it was on CTV News. Like, at long last, we're going to show it to you. Here it is. End of the show, Phantom Menace. And we were blown away. And the movie was awful.
Terrible, yeah. Like Phantom Menace, and the first one is like, okay, Phantom Menace, I'll never watch again, right? I think the second and third one, they'll kind of grow on you, maybe if you're a Star Wars fan.
You ignore some dialogue.
Yeah, but like, at least those are, they didn't like show to be anything that they weren't. Phantom Menace was like, okay, it had to be a knockout.
It really did. It had it's Babe Ruth.
Yeah, exactly. So it's either a knockout or a complete flop, critically speaking, anyway, right?
Man.
Not financially speaking, but
financially, it did just fine.
It did fine, right? But like but the first, I remember watching it, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I think for me, like not knowing what the hell was going on is I couldn't process how much this goofy character was a part of the movie. Yeah. Like his dialogue and all that kind of crap. Like even looking back at it now, Jar Jar Binks not talking is not a problem. Like who's the main fat guy who was like the boss Nass? Boss Nass with better dialogue, not a problem. The kids' lines cut significantly, makes them not a problem, right? I mean, that Phantom Edit proves all that.
Yeah.
I think is Topher Grace, the Phantom Edit. And Topher Grace from that 70s show got together and built an edit called the Phantom Edit, which wasn't bad. It's like cut down by half an hour. It's pretty watchable. But it was that stuff that made you wonder, like, where are we going to go with this? Now, having said that, when you watch that compared to the sequel trilogy, at least you felt like each movie was going into the next movie and building some sort of mythology.
Yeah, there was a narrative that was
There's a narrative that was going to thread from one to the other and make you feel like you're watching a complete series of movies.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't feel that way about the sequel trilogy.
Oh, no. The last 3 movies were just like
they're disjointed.
They're disjointed because they're not made by there was no like there was no idea,
singular
like,
vision.
Yeah, like there's no singular vision, right? So like that was George Lucas. He's like, I have that was him. He's like, I have to, granted, 1, 2, and 3, you can take it for whatever they're worth, but at least there was a connected storyline.
Yeah.
And it had to lead to somewhere, right?
It felt like it was going in a direction.
Yeah. So if you took a look at that from a distance, and be like, you know what, he started out like this, became this, and ended up like this, right?
Yeah.
That's done very well. But when you have like Kathleen Kennedy in the last 3, they were made to make money.
Well, that's like that thing we talked about in our Marty was right episode, right?
Yeah.
Where when you make a movie like that, where you realize that, okay, look, we've got 4 big markets we have to sell to, and we have to know what each one wants. So we have to include characters that are going to appeal to each one.
Yep.
And now we have girls who watch, so we've got to have female characters that are important. And the guys, some people like black guys, some people like Mexican guys, some people like gay and black Mexican guys. Let's make this ambiguous.
Yep.
We know that the white market's not going to want a black guy kissing a white girl. Put him with the Asian girl, but leave it ambiguous so we can always call that back a little bit. There was like too much going on. Like there's too many. You're trying to please too many people.
Yeah.
And it really felt, because of that, it was very much like an SJW movie.
It is, yeah.
Whereas if Ray and Finn just got together like they were kind of like aiming towards, like make him Force sensitive, show us he's Force sensitive. That's cool from the beginning, man. Yeah. We'll fall into it. That's why he breaks away from the stormtroopers. Like all that stuff that fans are talking about makes sense, but they just keep like they don't. Do they not notice that? Like you guys are smart people making smart movies. Essentially, you're telling us you are. Do you not see this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's there was for those last 3 there was, it just seemed like there was and plus like adding on and just to pile on what you were just talking about, and they had to wrap up a 9-movie saga. Yeah. And they fucked it up completely.
Totally did.
Yeah.
That's why I will never shit on Vin Diesel. That's a saga he
owns it, doesn't he?
Knocking out of the park.
Doesn't he own that franchise?
I'm pretty sure he either owns it or has got enough of a stake in it.
Yeah.
To where this is like he is making sure this ends on his terms.
Yeah.
Or on terms that, like, say what you will about those. Even though they went from heist movies, well, not heist movies, they went from, like a car thieves robbery movies into this weird spy shit, into heist movies. At least, like, the characters always kind of grow into the next iteration of those characters.
Okay, I'll say this, okay?
And they're true to where they came from.
Yeah, okay, I'll say this. Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you, okay? The line does not waver in
exactly.
Those movies, okay? It does not, okay?
Narrative thread.
Yeah, especially, okay, so I'll give you that, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Shit away.
The issue, this is not even an issue. This is why it works. You know why it works? Because it's very simple. There's no, the more ridiculous you make it, the better it is.
Exactly.
You can't make Star Wars crazy.
No.
I think they should, but like
they could.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be Star Wars.
It wouldn't be Star Wars. It'd just be like it'd be utter mayhem.
Right.
So Fast and the Furious can be as crazy as you want to make it to be, right?
That's right.
Because that's the thing. They always have to up it every single movie because it's so ludicrous.
Right.
A.K.A. Ludacris is in the movie, but like you have to like.
And now he knows kung fu.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. It's even more ridiculous
right?
now. Yeah.
What do we do? Where can we go now?
Yeah,
Ludacris knows kung fu.
Well, the thing is, like, what's the main the main idea when you start out making that movie? Like, say you have fresh pages and you're like, you know what, we have to start making this movie. You have to look at the last one and be like, how can we top this?
Exactly.
Yeah, and fit in some.
John Cena's car will suplex a semi-trailer.
Yeah.
because that's what John Cena does.
So like, how can we do that physically? We can't. Okay, so just CGI it. Just don't worry about it.
But
we'll figure that out later.
There are still. I mean, there's a lot of CGI in those things these days, but there's still tons of practical effects. Because Justin Lin is a huge practical effects guy, right?
Yeah.
So he still does like all the racing stuff, the accidents, the cars flipping.
Oh yeah,
Now, granted, the helicopter thing with the thing and the car swinging like Spider-Man, all CG.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, it's like like what did they do in the last movie? They did a submarine like fucking.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Like why not? Okay, what's the next one? Okay, like let's have another car suplex another car, right?
So but you know why it works? Because they're all family.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all family.
So like moments like that where a suplex or something like that, I'll be like, okay, that's what it is.
I can let it go, man. I mean, the same way I can, like I was going back to do a little callback, the same way I can kind of suspend my disbelief when I see guys shoot webs out of his wrists. Mm-hmm. I'll let it go, this thing. It's moved to a different place now.
The thing is that I totally agree with you. I will never go to a theater and watch that movie.
Yeah. And I'm cool with that.
But the thing is, I would watch that movie with you because I'd be like, I have to watch it with a super fan.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a super fan.
Well, no, compared to like what I am. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm just willing to let it go when it comes to like I go in knowing what I'm going to watch.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully you didn't take that as an insult. Because no. The guys who were super fans of those movies are complete idiots.
Yeah. I hope they didn't take it as an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's the same reason that like I can let go of so much of my suspension of disbelief kind of goes away, or I have the suspension of disbelief while watching wrestling. Right.
Yeah.
I'm watching high quality stuntmen do high quality live action stunt work.
Yeah.
So I can let it go when somebody pretends that they've like their head's exploded, or like when Matt Hardy takes a chair shot to the head.
Yeah.
While he's wearing a neck brace, which happened last week.
Well,
fucking Randy Orton. You got some explaining to do, Randy Orton.
Actually,
but I can let it go.
Actually, you know what? I think that's maybe that's probably my fault when it comes to watching movies.
You can't let go.
I'd rather watch something that doesn't force me to.
Okay.
In the sense of like it has to be, like they're trying to tell a story, but when I'm watching the story, it's not like, it's like, okay, that's fucking out of control.
Well, I see. That's what I mean. Like you can, like when you watch, say, Inception.
Yeah, like that's completely like all that stuff there is like it's grounded in the real world, like every day, but like but obviously I know it's a science fiction movie, right?
Actually, that's a bad example. What was the Dunkirk?
Dunkirk.
Like when you watch Dunkirk, you can't have like certain things have to fit within the constraints of reality.
Yeah.
To convey the proper emotion for these real life situations.
Yeah, so I guess
you can't venture too far out of that.
Exactly. So what I should say is that I gravitate more towards that.
Yeah.
And then like, but like, so if I come away from it, I know there's movies that are like I'll still watch like those Marvel movies and stuff like that, right? They're entertainment. And stuff
but you'll shit on them.
Yeah, like I'll totally insult them, right? But but like when it comes to like. But then you have like I'll go over here where it's like everything technical, everything is like is practical and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And I could see how they did it. Okay, but I was like, if I go over to like where Fast and the Furious is, that's where I'm like, I was like, it's to a point where I can't enjoy it.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's too much.
But I think that's kind of my feeling. Like, why can't I just let go and just be, fuck, whatever. It's a day off.
That's just it, right? For me, it's a cheat meal. Like I can do them both. Like I like movies that are grounded in reality because sometimes I need certain stories, like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
Dunkirk.
Yeah, see, and those are like that's pretty much what I watch.
Yeah, and I'm totally cool with those. But I can watch those movies and I can be locked into like the logic, like movie logic. But then they're like at the same time. I mean, I like watching Akira, but I also like Animaniacs.
Yeah, exactly.
Akira gives me exactly what I want from Akira. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, because like, I like what how like especially when you watch like Akira or like when you're watching Animaniacs, right? Mm-hmm. I watch because like I want to see the like when I laugh at the jokes, I can understand the brilliance of the writing.
Yeah, I get something different.
Yeah, I can see how the animators how well they did their jobs and stuff like that, right? So like, and that's it. But when I look at like Fast and the Furious, all I just see is like just a bunch of stunt guys and a bunch of guys who are doing the driving. And
here's something that I will say about Fast and Furious that I can't say about a lot of movies, and I don't think a lot of people notice it. And maybe it's because the creators behind it are more talented than they let on, like guys like Justin Lin. Mm-hmm. But if you watch one of those movies, there's never a moment, at least I haven't really noticed it too much, where let's just say they're driving down one street in one direction and then they'll be coming the other way from the other direction.
Yeah.
I mean, like all the shots blend into the next shot. Like they're like technically they take a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But as far as like visual like appeal of watching like left to right storytelling, it's all there. Like it moves very fluid. Like the motion, the action, everything happens in a very fluid way.
Yeah.
Some stuff is insane and some stuff gets all thrown around to where you're like, well, we're in a Hercules now and the door's opening up and we're 10,000 feet up and Vin Diesel's going to land on a crate and not die. That's crazy. But when you're watching that scene, you're never wondering of the direction of the action.
No.
You're always watching it flow in a way that's appealing.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster. You're on and you always know where the track is going. I find that really like that's really appealing to me.
No, that's good. No, that's great. Like
Whereas Michael Bay throws 2 Transformers down a hill. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. It's all over the place.
Yeah, I was watching that Hobbs and Shaw, the one with The Rock and Statham.
Jason Statham.
Yeah, I was watching it at Best Buy, and they were just showing it on the TVs.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the best take they got when they were fighting and stuff like that. I'm like, you could tell the person he's not hitting that guy.
He's definitely not hitting that.
Yeah,
dude.
they're not like The Rock is like he doesn't like.
The Rock makes garbage movies, man.
Yeah, he's like his movies are trash.
The Rock makes junk food for the brain.
Yeah.
He makes movies for 13-year-old boys.
Yeah, he went from like this, like
The
Rundown, and like Standing Tall,
Walking Tall.
Walking Tall. Yeah, sorry. And then but all the so his movies are like, I understand he's probably locked into contracts to make certain like this many movies for this particular studio.
I think he's got a trash clause in his contract.
Yeah, exactly. But so and he makes tons of money off these things, right?
Oh, for sure.
But that Hobbs and Shaw movie, I was watching and I'm like, this is borderline unwatchable.
I'll still watch it.
Yeah, I went home and took a shower after I saw it.
You have to get clean?
Yeah, to get clean.
A Silkwood shower?
Yeah, I was like, you guys are like, obviously I would love to do what he does, but like same time is like when I was watching it is like the writing is terrible.
Obviously.
It's terrible. Like even like, why doesn't he go to the guys that are like, yeah, we should not talk like this.
I want better lines.
Yeah.
I want better lines because right now I sound like a buffoon.
Yeah.
I sound like a monosyllabic buffoon.
Yeah, even the comedy when they're talking at the same time and they're like, hey, what? Him? Me? F this, whatever. They're talking at the same time while they're answering a question. And I was like, this is so stupid. I'm like, this is dumb.
And I will defend it to the day I die.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
hey.
I'm kind of glad that we're on the opposite end of this.
I do. I like that. I like the idea that we've got 2 different worlds that we're really like ensconced in.
Yeah.
That we're really like a part of.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, for me,
once you're in, you're ensconced.
You're ensconced.
Just like a stanza.
Ensconced in velvet. I just like the idea. Like I said, I can watch Akira, but I can also watch like Animaniacs or
absolutely,
or some really out there wacky shit.
Yeah.
Just because a part of my brain just says we're gonna tune out. We're gonna tune out and we'll just watch 2 gigantic human beings, fake kung fu fight each other, and just beat each other's faces in.
Yeah, because like you could look exactly because you could look at certain like movies or like cartoons, anime, books, graphic novels, comic books, whatever it is, right? I think you could take a step back and be like, which one is going to be like is going to have more influence on people, right?
Yeah,
and like which one's going to stand the test of time. And so like some movies that you watch, they're legendary and they're like, wow, I can keep watching it over and over again, right? Some books, I understand that there's movies out there like Fast and Furious, like, you know what, these are just like, it's 2 hours of my life. I can just enjoy myself and turn my brain off.
That's right, man.
That's exactly it.
And they'll stand the test of time.
Yeah, but
they totally will.
Yeah, they will. Like those movies are really remembered for one specific thing, right?
Exactly.
So they're their own specific thing, right? Whereas like that's true with anything, but like history will look less favorably on Fast and the Furious just for being like a complete and utter like just.
Well, it's not going to add anything to your intelligence.
None.
It's not going to add anything to your like technical filmmaking.
No.
Like when you watch it as somebody who wants to learn about technical filmmaking.
Yeah, they won't show that in film school.
They will not.
No.
Well, they might show it as what not to do.
Maybe, yeah.
They might show.
Yeah, see how this is not how, this is how you unsell a punch. Like that. Yeah.
So this is
Watch
how
The Rock. Yeah.
This is how you deliver the worst dialogue written about family reunions ever. This is how you don't bring a girlfriend back from the dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe that, but at the same time, like in a certain way, like that kind of junk food always sticks around. Like there's gonna be room for like what was that one that I say is not a great movie, but I still watch it whenever it's on. That's Crazy Larry, Dirty Mary, Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
The race car movie, the train track thing.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's kind of a garbage movie.
It's a terrible movie.
I mean, he uses the line, "I will braid your tits," which I have used numerous times.
But the way that movie is shot,
Beautifully shot.
It's beautifully shot.
Beautifully shot.
Yeah.
That's our reminder to do some stuff later. Yeah, beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like it's kind of a junk foodie movie.
It is a total junk food movie.
Like I can't remember any other line from that movie aside from that.
Yeah,
or the premise.
Yeah, I like the way it's shot because the way the time period that it was shot in.
Oh, yeah.
I miss those kind of movies.
Yeah, it was man that oversaturated, like out in the desert.
Out in the desert.
Not the desert. Sorry, out in the the woods, just running away from cops. It's like like Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah,
but dirty.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Exactly, Smoking the Bandit because they do these wide shots and you get to see so much where it's like because like now movies now are just all about like shooting on focus on characters.
Well, because you can't show them because they don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, they don't.
Like you can't show Brad Pitt like actually driving a car. Well, maybe you can, but like at the same time, like you really can't show these big time actors driving cars around.
No, you can't.
Because a lot of them can't do those stunts.
Yeah, like
outside of what, Tom Cruise?
Yeah, even like in Conan the Barbarian, like the remember the scene where like they could see they're showing someone in the foreground, and then she in the back, you can see all the way in the distance, see that the army coming from the distance. Yeah, like they don't. Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, when you see shots,
how do you know when to do that?
Yeah, like I mean, at what point are you thinking in that the storyboard phase? Right, it has to be then for if you're a good filmmaker. It's when you're storyboarding and thinking about how you're going to block the shot and all that in your head. You're thinking about, okay, well, I need an epic moment here. We're going to have Conan and Subutai here. We're going to have Thulsa Doom's guys coming here.
Yeah.
He's going to be telling his buddy about what's going to happen, and then he'll go and pray, and then we're going to watch the writers come on, and it's going to be all the stuff he's thinking about, and then that scene happens.
Yeah.
Or especially like one of the moments in that, not to go too far down the rabbit hole, is when he nails, was it Rexor?
Rexor, yeah.
When he drops him. I think that's Rexor at the end, right?
It is Rexor at the end.
Yeah, when he drops him with the axe, man, that shot is incredible. So you can't just show up and shoot that.
No, you have to. No,
there's weeks of like planning into that shot.
Yeah,
right?
I bet you anything. There's they must have storyboarded it because even like with
John Milius, goddamn John Milius.
Yeah, even with Mad Max Fury Road, that entire movie was storyboarded.
Oh yeah, man!
The entire thing.
I mean, now I think all movies are entirely storyboarded, but that one, like every moment was planned.
Yeah,
like every single thing. I don't think at any point they showed up on set and they're like, you know what, it's raining today. Let's try this instead. It's like I don't think you can do it with that. Someone dies.
Yeah.
If you decide to change up what you're going to do halfway through, that dude playing guitar with the flamethrower, he accidentally burned someone's face off.
Oh yeah, and the storyboards. I took a look. I was watching because I was watching behind the scenes of like how they made that movie. And they were showing all the story. They said like they looked at the wall in some of the production offices. You can see the color of the paint on the wall. There were just storyboards everywhere,
all over.
And they said if you have to change something, if they're like the shot's going to be like this, you take those off and you put the new storyboards on there.
Yeah, before you even think about like getting out of that room.
Yeah, even like Blade Runner 2049, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, like those movies. Like if you look at the storyboards, they're beautiful. They're works of art.
Yeah, I mean that's just it, right? I mean, when you look at a movie like say like Lethal Weapon, the first one, I think a lot of that happens on the fly.
On the fly. Yeah.
I mean, you might have like the entire thing planned out, and you know what you're going to do every single day, but there are a lot of moments in that where somebody's walking around with a Steadicam, and they're just shooting as they go, and like, let's try it from this side, do this and that, and let's just see how it goes, and that gets used.
Yeah,
I think a lot of movies like that can happen, but yeah, when you're dealing with Prometheus or Blade Runner, where it's just every scene is a photograph that could win an award.
Oh yeah, because it's all based on like who's directing it too, right? Because like Ridley Scott, Roger Deakins, those guys are very particular on like how their movie's supposed to look.
But by the same regard, like if you've got Richard Donner directing Lethal Weapon, he's going to be looser.
He's going to be
Superman,
much looser. Yeah,
it's
you're
gonna
right.
Be very tight.
So he'll be like, guys, I want the authenticity to like really like sell this buddy cop relationship, right? Like what would you realistically say in this situation?
Yeah. Like you can try different things.
Yeah, so like try different things and see if it works. And like it comes off as genuine. So like sometimes when I watch that movie, I'm like, that doesn't sound like a script. That just sounds like that sounds like
two buddies.
Yeah, it's two buddies, but like, okay, I understand what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
So the vibe is there. But Yeah, but the actors talk like they're just two buddies.
Yeah.
So I think that in that sense, like they understand, like, hey, I know I'm going to say something like this, but I'm going to do it my own way.
Like I bet you that line about like it's thin, Raj.
Yeah.
It's thin, Riggs. It's anorexic. Like, I don't think that came out in a script. Like I think I just popped out.
Yeah, because how does a writer like know how to write that kind of stuff? Yeah.
I mean, like they're Shane Black is Shane Black.
Shane Black is hit and miss.
He's hit and miss, but man, like I mean, he's more hit than miss. Like when it comes to dialogue, that dude is way more hit than miss. Oh
yeah, for sure.
Like he's the kind of guy who probably would have certain things written in the script, but at the same time, you're able to be looser in that. But the same director can be tighter, or will have to be tighter for a bigger movie like Superman.
Yeah, like so, like Shane, like just to end off on Shane Black's note is that he's, when I say hit and miss, is that his last miss is, I'm just like,
it's about as miss as you can get.
It's like F this guy, man.
It's about as miss as you can get.
Yeah.
Predators. Predators? The Predator.
The Predator, yeah.
The Predator.
Yeah.
But what was the one before that? The one with
that was
Adrian Brody.
Predators.
That was Predators.
Yeah.
Didn't hate it.
Nope.
Didn't hate that movie at all.
Lawrence Fishburne's in that too, I believe.
Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne plays a crazy guy who wants to be a predator.
Yeah, and then Predator 2, unreal.
Incredible movie.
And then then what can you say about number one? So
yeah, amazing. Hey, speaking of Superman, John Peters and Pamela Anderson got married and then promptly divorced.
Yep. He's like, I don't mind. He said, what did he say? He's, I can't imagine myself married to this woman for very long.
I can't imagine somebody married John Peters again.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is kooky as fuck.
Yeah, he's fucking old too.
That is a guy who was a hairdresser for Barbra Streisand, hooked up with Barbra Streisand, because maybe she liked his skills with the scissors, and then he becomes a producer for like one movie, and then gets himself into a studio.
Yeah.
He gets into Warner Brothers like a Alabama tick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He gets in there deep and then just like fucks up a series of movies.
Yeah.
Just becomes like a cancer, up to the point where Christopher Nolan has to say, like, I don't want him near my movies.
What did he what was he producer on?
Superman, Batman,
yeah.
Superman 2, Superman 3.
Yeah.
Superman Lives, when he tried to get Kevin Smith to write about the spider, the giant spider.
Yeah.
And then he put the giant spider in Wild Wild West. And then he influenced the giant spider into Man of Steel, the dubstep machine.
Yeah.
That's a giant spider. He finally got his giant spider in a movie.
He must have been on something.
Oh, I think he's on John Peters. I think John Peters is on John Peters. And then Christopher Nolan knew all about that. So when he was doing Batman Begins, he had something, I think, like with the studios, like, I don't want him near my movie. Mm-hmm. Don't let him near my movie.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets like an executive producer credit.
Yeah.
But he's not a producer at all. Like, he had no hands on to that.
Yeah.
But man, like John Peters, and then he marries Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, two kooks got together.
Christopher Nolan's wife, Emma Thompson, she does she's executive.
She does
right?
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does everything, man. She's a legend. Now that's your Kathleen Kennedy that you want to be running a studio.
Yeah.
Get his wife to run all that crap.
Yeah.
She's at Warner Brothers though. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd rather stick to Warner Brothers.
I'd rather stick to Warner Brothers too.
Yeah.
Hey, so we speaking of Batman, we had Josh Lucas talked about Christian Bale on American Psycho.
Yeah.
He's like, we all thought he was a terrible actor, and he was way too over the top because nobody knew what it was going to be, right? Mm-hmm. Like his character in American Psycho, like just when he's talking to what's his name, Angel Face there. Before he kills him with the axe?
Yeah.
What about the Huey Lewis? Man, like he's so over the top.
Jared Leto's character?
Jared Leto, yeah. Leto? Jared Leto?
Leto.
Joker. I'll call him Leto now.
It's Leto because there's an O after the T.
Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already had the grammar thing.
Yeah, we had the grammar thing.
Yeah. Apparently, I just don't get grammar. I'm angry at grammar as it is. But yeah, I thought that was a great story where he's like, he just told me recently after Ford versus Ferrari that they all thought I was a horrible actor. I'd never get anywhere in Hollywood. I would not. He explicitly told me I would not be Batman. He said, "You'll never be Batman." I said, "You won't either, you fucker."
Paul Allen, is that his name?
Paul Allen.
Yeah, Paul Allen. Yeah.
Oh,
I like when he breaks into his apartment after he kills him, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, I have a sense of a moment of panic. I realize his apartment's much bigger than mine.
Bigger than mine. He is. What a marvelous character.
Oh yeah, just complete. Like if you want to take materialism and ego to the max, that's Christian Bale's character. That's Patrick Bateman.
The most satirical look at those like boiler room Wall Street, like hard brown noser motherfuckers.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna get.
Have you read the book?
I have not.
You should read the book.
It's incredible.
I have it. I'll lend it to you.
Really?
It's great.
Man, I would love to read that.
Tom Cruise is in it. In the book.
In the book.
Because he lives in Patrick Bateman's
as a character.
Yeah, as a character. Yeah, it's a phenomenal book.
That's wild, man. I would definitely give that a go.
It explains his morning routine in much more detail.
I would imagine. Yeah. Well, you have more space to write about his morning routine.
Yeah,
you're a little American Psycho. It's your morning routine.
Well, I
terrify me sometimes.
Actually, you know what? I have a massive laser printed American Psycho poster.
Well, now I'm a little bit more terrified.
I have to frame it.
Did I ever watch that jeans commercial with you? The American Psycho jeans commercial?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, like Denim Psycho or whatever it was.
Denim Psycho, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
The way he says Paul in American Psycho and the way that guy says Paul are two different deliveries of that name that are so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bateman's delivery of the word Paul. Yes.
Paul.
Phenomenal.
Hey, Paul.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what he says. He was like, hey, Paul.
What else did I have here? I had Zach Cassian got 7 games for that weird ass kick.
Oh, fuck.
But Zdeno Chara got like just a $5,000 fine for trying to like choke somebody with a stick.
Fuck, man.
Like the throat breaker.
Fucking Cassian. Okay, like that guy's okay. He just came off a suspension. Like I can understand like you're just trying to get your leg out or something like that, but you can't do that.
I mean, like okay, here's the thing. It wasn't as bad as everybody's trying to like blow it up to be, but you can't do that.
No,
like,
you can't do that. Yeah, exactly.
Like first and foremost, you can't do that. That should be like number one. You can't kick somebody with your skate foot.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the skate is not a razor blade. It's a flat piece of metal. It's very unlikely to cut somebody.
It's slit throats before.
It has.
Yeah.
But it's not going to cut his jersey.
No, it won't break through his chest plate, all that stuff. But like,
having said that,
yeah,
like you said, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
You will get suspended for doing that.
Yeah, you just got suspended.
You just got suspended.
Actually, you know what was I going to say?
I do love saying having said that. It's become the thing I've said a lot this week.
Well, it's the Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld thing, where like
it is. It's like a freebie.
Yeah, it's a freebie. You can get away from anything. You can say like this is a piece of shit. Having said that, I would love to read it later.
I would love to read it later.
Yeah, because Cassian is just he should just actually I don't want to judge the guy. I wasn't in that situation, but like you should know like okay, you know what? I just got suspended. Yes. I can't use my skate as a weapon. Just pull it back or something, right? But
he's Doug Glatt.
Yeah, that's true.
Zach Cassian is the closest thing I think the NHL has maybe ever had to a real Doug Glatt, outside of the guy who actually was Doug Glatt.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, he was never an NHL guy.
Yo.
Whereas Zach Cassian, I mean, you look at him, the hand tattoos, the way he looks, like this is Doug Glatt.
Yeah, there was actually on yesterday when they played the Bruins, there was $30 million of salary that was missing from the Edmonton Oilers ice.
Oh God,
on the ice, yeah.
Man, with how many players? Like 3
or 4 or 5, I think, around there.
God, that's gross. That's a lot.
Yeah, and they still got a point yesterday against the Bruins.
They went to overtime. With the Bruins.
Yeah.
Like the Bruins are number 1 right now, right?
They're the number 1 team in the league.
Man, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, they play their hearts out.
They played their hearts out, man. And like, say what you will about how great. Like, we all know how great McDavid is. He's awesome, and him and German kid. Draisaitl,
yep.
Thank you. Are great together. But man, Draisaitl has stepped it up.
Yeah, I think maybe this is something that the Oilers needed.
I think so, right? I mean, for growth. Everybody kind of rags on Draisaitl sometimes for being that lazy style of play where he's like going for the easy angles and all that.
Yeah, now he's they're saying he could win the Hart Trophy this year.
He could, man. Yeah. I mean, I've never bought into that. I think he's got a certain style of play. I wouldn't necessarily call it lazy. I think he's like his production is different. The way he thinks is different.
Yeah, he doesn't play the game 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's not doing it a certain way. He's got a different style playing, but you can't, like, the proof is in the output. So 100%.
Yeah, they're saying that he could be like he's a league leader in points.
Yeah,
second place, Connor McDavid.
Yeah, right. I mean, they're always within that top 3 to 4. Like, they're dancing around that all the time.
Oh yeah, and he has a commanding lead.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So I have no problem with that. Yeah. I was talking about the phone. We talked about phone cameras. I was watching a review about phone cameras because I was looking at Palm Phone, the little tiny thing.
Oh, that tiny little tricorder.
The little tricorder. Because I think that might be it. Because it's so dirt cheap right now, so cheap. And on top of that, it's a little. I was trying to look at the camera, like specs for it and whatnot. And people are shitting all over the camera about how, like, for that kind of price and 12 megapixels, I expect this. I'm like, yeah, people are idiots. Like, what do you expect? It's a phone, not a camera. Like, if you wanted to have all these features and better low light and be incredible, just go buy a camera.
No, but that's entitled culture. Just
that's entitled culture.
That's like not knowing how to moderate your expectations.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
They do not know how to moderate their expectations. No, so they get these incredible phones where they can do incredible low light and do these great, take great like night photos and all that, but they want more.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, they're entitled to more.
Yeah. Then you know what? Buy a better phone then.
Buy a better phone or go buy a fucking camera.
Yeah.
Like, stop your complaining.
Exactly.
And then I was allowed to end off for me this week was I do a lot of digital art. So I read a lot of other comments on people's digital artwork just to see what people say about it. And I was noticing how more and more and more, because like iPads are more popular now for people to produce artwork, the question that gets asked a lot of artists that never gets answered anymore is, what brushes do you use? Like, what brushes? And in my head, my response always is the natural talent, where you use your tools that you've got and get better at what you do, so you understand what brushes you should be using.
Yeah.
Instead of asking somebody, hey, what brushes did you use to get that incredible piece of artwork you made? As if that's somehow going to make you better if you know what brush they trained on for the last year and a half to create this great work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, do you ask a carpenter what hammer do you use? Stanley? Because I use a
how about this? Why'd you
Mex Plus.
Yeah, why'd you start from scratch and start learning?
Yeah, just learn. How about you just like grab the tool instead of asking somebody what brush they use? Just get better at it.
Yeah, just
get better at the work.
Yeah, just ask Bob Ross's son. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, that comes back to everything we talked about today, like health and fitness. Like, you don't ask somebody what dumbbells they use.
Yeah.
Just go to the gym and get better and learn, and eventually.
Exactly. The ones made out of metal.
Yeah. The ones that handle.
Yeah.
Made out of metal.
Yeah. I don't use the sandbag ones anymore.
I don't use those anymore. I don't throw sandbags anymore.
Yeah.
Flip tires.
Flip tires.
I flip tires.
Yeah. And actually, also on the last note is that I saw the guy who's the best, most powerful hands, the face slapper. Remember that's
the Russian slap thing?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
There was this one guy, they showed him, and his friend was holding up a watermelon, a full-size watermelon.
Dear God.
And he slapped it, and the thing exploded.
Oh,
he took one swing, and
faces.
And then they showed him he was facing off against this guy who was like my size, and but just like had a cut jaw.
Good Lord.
And so he hit that bigger guy, the guy who destroyed the watermelon, and the guy was just like he hit him, and the guy just like, okay, he's like, good hit. Shook his hand, he's like, good hit.
It's good.
And he's like, okay, now it's my turn, right? And then the guy who was my size just looked at him with this intense face, like he's like, he knows, he's like, okay, this is gonna be fucking hard. And so he just looked at the guy, and the guy just like went like this, like tapped his face just to aim properly. Where he measures it up, and you should see his hand. His hand was the size of his head.
Oh God, that Andre the Giant holding a beer can.
I'd say like 3/4 the size of his head.
Oh,
and like his whole head. Like,
and this is a dude who just destroyed a watermelon.
Yeah, from his jawline to the top of his head, 3/4 of it was covered by his hand. And so then he wound up, and I'll show you the video afterwards. He just wound up and hit this guy so hard. Honestly, it looked like, and there was dust flying everywhere.
That wasn't dust; it was his soul.
Yeah, and the guy just like collapsed. He didn't. The thing is, he was still standing, but my God, but he was just like, "What the fuck just hit me?"
Just concussions, just like
missing teeth, like everything. And those guys like.
I shared that with our other group, the group of the guys, the Turtles.
After I showed it to you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And the first thing, Ghost had watched it a bunch of times. I think Dan had seen it, and Luke, I think everybody had seen it.
Also, yeah, they just didn't know that you hadn't seen it, right?
I had not seen it.
Okay.
But Luke had the best reaction to it. He doesn't like it because he's like, it's just people giving themselves concussions for no goddamn reason. Like, that's all it is. Mm-hmm. Whereas to me, I think these are people in some pretty poor countries, nothing else to do. Like, there's just...
It garners a lot of attention,
It does, right?
Yeah.
So it's a way for them to, like, generate some income.
Yeah.
Become superstars at some sort of a sport.
Yeah. Like, some of the hits
but
on those videos
he's not wrong.
No, not at all. But that's true with anything.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, like if you're going to partake in a sport, there's going to be chances of like boxing, right? Boxing, there's concussions. Like football, there's concussions.
Oh, there's a risk of severe injury in all of it.
Exactly.
I think the beef that he had is that it's primarily
that
a headshot. Right?
That's
I mean, it's like in boxing.
I totally agree with him.
You can move around and not get hit. Like you can try your best not to. Now, very likely your career is going to end with Parkinson's.
On that point, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But that is the risk you take. So like it's not for the weak.
What else are you gonna do in Kazakhstan?
I don't know. Watch Borat reruns. I don't know.
I guess so, right? Yeah, he didn't like the Uzbeks, wasn't it? He was Kazakhstani.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the Uzbeks.
Yeah. Well, he's still married.
Fuck you, Uzbek.
Still married to his sister. So.
Oh, it's so good. At Backside Attack.
At Vic Sabe.
I think that was the music playing for a while now.
Sounds good. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah, we are back on iTunes. Mm-hmm. On iTunes, we are barely safe for Apple or barely safe. But if you go to bsfwpodcast.com, we'll have a link there for you. Yeah. Probably the best way to get your hands on it.
Yep.
But we are back on Apple, which is pretty fun because we have not been on there for a while. Also on YouTube. 100%. Mm-hmm. I know last time we said we're not going to say that anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll keep saying it. Mm-hmm. So check us out on YouTube, on Google Play Podcast. They've got their own app now.
Yeah.
Apple's got their own thing because I don't think iTunes exists anymore. But I think you can still go to iTunes. I don't know how that works.
It's Apple Music, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
But we're on there. I think we're also on the actual dedicated Apple Podcast app.
Yeah.
And Stitcher. So if you go BSFW podcast on Stitcher.
Yay, indeed.
Yay, indeed. You can find us on Stitcher.
Yeah.
And you can, there's nowhere to not find us anymore. We're everywhere.
We're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, and
so tune in.
Even if you don't listen to the whole thing, just turn it on and let it run because it makes us look like we're doing shit.
Yeah. And if there's a point where you're just like, I'm not really, that's whatever, we're going to come around to something that you're interested in. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, we've got over 150 something episodes now. So go back to the back catalog and listen to that.
Yep.
But that would be on BSFW podcast.
Yes.
On everything else except for Apple.
Yeah.
But it's on SoundCloud and Stitcher.
And
so
Stitcher,
you have no excuse to enjoy the bullshit that we spew.
Yeah.
Because you should enjoy the bullshit we spew. Because it's like hanging out with your friends.
It is.
That's my spiel.
I have nothing else to add. So peace out.